Hey, welcome! So today, we're diving into a really powerful idea. The idea that you can be the architect of your own wealth. We're going to lay out the blueprint from the absolute ground up.
So let's just start with a huge question. Is getting ahead financially all about luck? A roll of the dice? Or is it a blueprint, a set of plans that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn to read and follow? We're going to dig into the idea that wealth isn't something you win, it's something you build.
But before we can start building, we have to look at the ground we're standing on. And for a lot of people, that ground feels less like a solid foundation and more like a trap. So let's understand that cycle first, so we know how to break it.
Does this feel familiar to you? That feeling of running on a financial treadmill? You're working so hard, you're putting in the hours, you're doing everything you're supposed to, but you're just not getting anywhere. It's completely exhausting, and honestly, it's an incredibly common place to be.
And here's how that trap actually works. It's a vicious cycle, right? You're living paycheck to paycheck, which means you have zero buffer. So when your car breaks down, that unexpected expense turns into a full-blown crisis. You have to take on high-interest debt just to manage it, and that debt payment just eats up your next paycheck. It's so stressful that you start to believe that, maybe wealth is just for other people. Seeing how these pieces are all connected, well, that's the first step to taking the whole thing apart.
Okay, so now let's get to the most critical part of the entire blueprint, the foundation. And this foundation, it isn't in your bank account, it's in your mind. This is where the real construction starts. Just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. On one side, you have this mindset where life feels like it just happens to you. It's a feeling of scarcity. But on the other side, you've got this belief that you create your life. You see opportunities everywhere. And here's the revolutionary part. You get to choose which column you live in. Just that tiny shift from saying, I'm not good with money, to I can learn how to manage money, that changes absolutely everything. And this really gets to the heart of it all. It's not about how much you're earning right this second. It's about your core beliefs about money. That mindset is the engine. It's what's going to drive every single financial decision you make from this day forward.
All right, the foundation is poured. It's solid. Now it's time to start putting up the frame of the house. Let's get into the practical, day-to-day habits that turn a wealth mindset into actual wealth in the bank.
Seriously, if you take only one thing away today, let it be this: pay yourself first. It's such a simple switch, but it's profound. It means you prioritize your future before you pay your rent, before you pay your car bill, before anything else. You treat yourself like you're your own most important bill to pay.
And look how simple it is to actually do this. Step 2 is the magic key right here: automate it. Take the willpower completely out of the equation. When that money just automatically moves to your savings the day you get paid, you naturally learn to live on what's left. It just becomes a non-negotiable part of your financial life.
But look, just putting money into a savings account isn't the whole story. That's like stacking up a pile of bricks in your yard but never actually building the house. The next step is to put those bricks, your money, to work for you.
Okay, this chart is honestly mind-blowing. Just look at the insane difference a single decade makes. Starting at 25 instead of 35, with the exact same amount of money per month, more than doubles your final outcome. It's all thanks to the magic of compound interest. This proves it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time? Right now.
Think of your income streams like the pillars holding up the roof of your financial house. Trying to hold up a roof with just one pillar, your main job, is incredibly risky. Wealthy people build multiple pillars. Your investments start to pay you back. A side hustle turns a hobby into cash. Every new stream you add just makes your whole structure stronger and way more stable.
So, the big question is, does this blueprint actually work in the real world? Well, let's take a look at some people who started with next to nothing and built absolute empires.
Just take the incredible story of J.K. Rowling. In 1994, she's a single mom on government assistance, scribbling ideas in cafes to stay warm. But she had a vision, and she held on to it fiercely. She got rejected over and over again, but she kept going. And what started as a little story on some napkins became a global empire. It's just proof that a powerful idea, even from a place of deep struggle, can create unimaginable wealth.
And her story isn't a fluke. Howard Schultz grew up in housing projects, but he sold a vision for community, not just coffee.
Oprah Winfrey came from rural poverty and built an entire empire based on trust. John Coombe was an immigrant on food stamps who solved a basic human need for communication. They all came from nothing, but they saw a problem to solve or value to create, and they just went for it.
Okay, this is all super inspiring. But let's be real. Inspiration without action is just entertainment. So let's bring this all back home. Back to you. Right here, right now. How do you, the architect, lay that very first stone?
It all starts with this. One decision, one action, one small step that sends a signal to yourself that you are now the one in charge. Not 1,000 steps, just one.
Look, these are not life-altering commitments. These are tiny, totally manageable things you can do in the next 5 minutes. Move $5. Boom, you've just proven you can save. Track your spending for just one day. That creates awareness. Read one article. You're planting a seed of knowledge. The only thing that matters right now is that you pick one and you just do it.
And so, that's what it all comes down to. The blueprint is in your hands. The tools are all out there. You are the architect. The only question left is, what is the very first stone that you are going to lay today?